Hello, everyone. My name is Kaylin, and today I'm going to tell you the story of Tuskegee University. This story takes place during the Reconstruction era of 1865 through 1930. Tuskegee University has a remarkable story that reflects determination, education, and progress for African Americans. Tuskegee University was founded on July 4th, 1881 in Tuskegee, Alabama as the Tuskegee Normal School for Colored Teachers. It was created through an act of the Alabama legislature after Lewis Adams and a white former slave owner, George W. Campbell, worked together to take this idea and turn it into a reality. Who is Lewis Adams? Lewis Adams was a former slave married to Sarah Adams. He was a tinsmith, he was a deacon at a local church, he taught vocational skills, and he was also trusted by many African Americans because of the impact he had. Lewis was already in Alabama advocating for Tuskegee to become a reality. Adams could read and write, but he was never formally educated. He understood the value of education for black people. He knew once black people became educated that many doors that were formerly opened by whites only would soon have black people walking through. How did the school start? With the political influence George W. Campbell had, he was able to point Lewis Adams to W.F. Foster. W.F. Foster was an Alabama senator looking for re-election when Adams approached him with an idea. Lewis Adams didn't want money. He wanted a school for African Americans. W.F. Foster would make an agreement with Adams in exchange. Foster wanted secure votes from black people to win the election. Once Foster was re-elected, he kept his promise and him and Arthur L. Brooks, who was a colleague in the House of Representatives, passed the legislation of the Negro Normal School in Tuskegee in 1881. We got the legislation, now what? A $2,000 appropriation for teacher salaries was authorized by the legislation. There was no land, no building, and no teachers, but there was now legislation authorizing the school. A board of commissioners to get the school organized requested recommendations for teachers from Hampton Normal and Agriculture Institute in Virginia. This was a school opened in 1868 to, quote, train selected Negro youth who should go out and teach and lead their people first by example, unquote. The example. Booker T. Washington was born on April 5th in 1856 near Hillsford, Virginia, on a tobacco plantation. He was born into slavery to Jane, an enslaved black woman impregnated by a white man. He, his siblings, and his mother gained freedom after the Civil War and the passage of the 13th Amendment. In 1872, at the age of 16, Washington enrolled at the Hampton Normal and Agriculture Institute in Hampton, Virginia. From 1878 to 1879, he attended Wayland Seminary in Washington, D.C., and returned to teach at Hampton. It was Booker T. Washington that Hampton President Samuel C. Armstrong recommended to become the first principal at the Tuskegee Institute. The leader. The school's first teacher and principal was Booker T. Washington. He was 25 years old and he had just graduated from Hampton Institute in Virginia. Washington arrived in Tuskegee and began the school with limited resources. There was only one teacher and 30 students meeting in the same church Lewis Adams was a deacon at. Washington emphasized practical education, teaching students not only academics, but also trades like agriculture, carpentry, and brickmaking. The idea was that the students could gain self reliance and uplift their communities. Many of the campus's first buildings were literally built by the students themselves. Let's talk about growth and achievements. Under Washington's leadership, Tuskegee became famous for its blend of industrial training and academic education. Washington invited great minds to Tuskegee, including George Washington Carver, who arrived in 1896. Carver's research on peanuts, sweet potatoes, and crop rotation transformed Southern agriculture. Tuskegee also became a hub of innovation, progress, and leadership in Black education. Tuskegee in the 20th century. Tuskegee played a huge role in American history during the World War II with training of the Tuskegee Airmen. They were the first Black military pilots in the United States Armed Forces. They became a symbol of courage and excellence while challenging racial segregation in the military. Tuskegee today. Now known as Tuskegee University, it is a private, historically Black university with a strong reputation in its sciences, engineering, agriculture, architecture, and health sciences. It has grown from the small classroom in 1881 to a university with thousands of students and dozens of degree programs. It remains a place of pride for African American education and is still located in Tuskegee, Alabama. Today, Tuskegee is especially recognized for STEM fields, particularly engineering and veterinary medicine. It has one of the top veterinary programs in the nation. It is also known for preserving the legacy of Booker T. Washington, George Washington Carver, and the Tuskegee Airmen. Its National Historic Site, where visitors can tour Booker T. Washington's home, and the George Washington Carver Museum, is also what it's recognized for. In conclusion, Tuskegee started from almost nothing, just one teacher and a church, and grew into an internationally recognized university that continues to empower students while honoring its history. I hope you all enjoyed my presentation. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because later I'll be talking about a historical landmark from the Civil Rights era from 1954 to 1969. Thank you.